Hello folks, welcome to All About the Bass. This is a very special edition actually because I'm joined live from the USA by Dino. Hey Dino.
How are you?
Well,
good morning.
God, you're loud now, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's lovely to hear your voice. Do you know, you're the first person I've seen that isn't my wife or children for months. So it's lovely.
I'm sorry. I have to be the first face that you see.
That's all right, mate. It's all right. So, how are you doing? You okay?
I'm very well. Yeah. How about yourself?
I'm all right. I'm all right. What time is it where you are?
It is about 10 a.m. here in East Coast, U.S.
Okay. All right. Well, it's just coming up to 3 here, so we're at 5 hours difference. But that's all right. None of us are having to stay up too late. So. Now, listen, Dino, Can you tell us, please, what you do?
Oh boy. Well, I've got a 16-year history with the brand, with Ampeg.
Okay.
Going back basically 16 years. Currently, my job title with Ampeg is the brand marketing manager, and again, whatever that means, I think we're still defining that role. But I'm kind of a little bit of the historian of the brand at this point because I've been with it for so long. I kind of have the tribal knowledge of the brand over the years and through the ownerships.
Okay. So you're the man, aren't you?
I don't know if I'm the man. My current role right now is to manage all marketing and I guess public outreach. I'm also handling working with artist relations. That's kind of been my role for the last 5 or 6 years as well. Prior to that, I was a product specialist. My role was traveling around the world and just demonstrating products for store owners, for sales guys, for anybody that wanted to listen to me or listen to Ampeg. Fantastic. And I still do that to some degree. It's a lot of fun, but and also the last thing I would say is with Yamaha now, we have a whole team of product development and engineers that I kind of feed back to. And when they have a question like, hey, what features do you think, work on an amp or don't work on an amp? I'm able to give my input on that as well. So
okay, yeah, just to let our people know, obviously, if you haven't worked it out by now, viewers at home, yes, today we're talking about Ampeg and their range of amps, combos and heads and whatnot, cabinets. And Ampeg are now under the umbrella of Yamaha Guitars Group, okay?
Yep. Yes, yeah.
And that's why Dino's here today. It's just going to run us through some of the amps and any sort of new things, any news that's come along. Because this is, I haven't seen quite such an extensive range of Ampeg for quite a while. So I guess Yamaha are really sort of doing the business on making lots of new models and different combinations of things, lots of different head and cabinet combinations. And we've got lots of combos, I see.
Yeah.
Maybe you could talk us a little bit through the range.
Absolutely. So, like I said, with Ampeg's been around for 60 some odd years. So,
wow.
Yeah. We're in the fortunate position and sometimes unfortunate position that we have such a long history that, going through the product line over those 60, 70 years, trying to decide, what products do we want to present that honor that history, but also we have to be sensitive to the fact that we are in the 21st century and bass players' needs today in 2020 are completely different from what they were back in 1967.
Very much so.
So yeah. It's a balancing act that we really have to choose. But currently, obviously we still make the SVT. We make it in a couple of different variations.
Okay.
Right now, we're currently building 4 different variations of the SVT, all tube, 300 watts, pretty much based on the original design that was done back in 1969.
Okay.
We still build, all the classic cabinets, the 810, what people lovingly refer to as the fridge.
Yeah, I was just going to say the wardrobe actually, but fridge, that'll do.
But and of course, we understand, like myself and a lot of my friends and colleagues that work in the gigging scene, we can't always carry an SVT and an 810 cab to our local pubs or our local venues. So So, moving further down the line, so we consider that like the classic Ampeg. In fact, the series is actually called Classic Series.
Of course, and you couldn't not make that. That would be terrible. So yeah, oh, that's great. You're still making that stuff. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, and the SVT is still, to this day, it's probably like one of the most requested backline amps for production companies and backline companies.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Providing the artist doesn't have to move it, it's the number one requested amp. When we do get into where the player or the artist needs to move their own gear, then obviously size is a consideration, weight's a consideration. The next step down from Classic is we have a series called Pro Series, which is our hybrid series. It's basically a tube preamp with a solid state power section. It's still rack mountable. It's more manageable than, say, a full-blown SVT, but it retains a lot of that same sound and vibe that you get from an SVT.
Okay.
So we're constantly developing that. But again, we have products in the Pro Series line that, like the 3 Pro and 4 Pro, that are almost 25 years old. They're designs. So we're looking at revamping some of that stuff too.
Okay.
And then, if you move down from the Pro Series, and when I say move down, I'm not saying move down in terms of sound or quality. I'm referring to mostly size and portability.
Okay.
The next step down from Pro Series is the Portaflex.
Okay.
So like I know you have a Portaflex 20-watt head there, all tube. Yep.
Right here. This little beauty.
That is just killer little amp. And then I know you have another Portaflex PF500 that we'll talk about there.
I do, yes. Tell me about the PF20.
Well, the PF20 is something we did a few years back. Bass players wanted Ampeg they wanted that old B15 vibe.
Yeah, I mean that really is the classic. Whenever you see sort of amp emulations, that's the one that always comes up. They call it flip top and all these sort of code words for what it is, but that's it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. And that, the PF20 that you have there is sitting on top of an actual flip top cabinet.
It is.
So for the bass player that wants that B15 vibe, they could actually take that PF20 and attach it to the lid of that cabinet.
Oh, I'm going to demonstrate by the marvels of technology and television. Look. This is live, folks. Oh, yes.
There you go.
It's really happening. Isn't technology amazing, though? Because there's no delay between me and you. I can't believe it. How good this is. A kiss of death. Everything goes dark. So look. So this is it in when you want to carry it, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and it's like that.
Yep.
And the idea is then, you're saying that you can take this amplifier and screw it on here.
That's correct. So
let's bolt it. Let's be safer.
If you look at the top of there's 2 different bolt patterns.
Yes.
And those are pre-drilled holes through that lid. Those are just little black caps that you pop off.
Okay.
So when you purchase the cabinet, it comes with a hardware set with longer screws, and then you can decide any one of the Portaflex heads, one of the 5 Portaflex heads that we do.
Okay.
You can attach to that lid and build your own Portaflex rig.
Oh, that's very, very cool. I think a lot of people would like that, actually. I can see. Yeah, that would be useful. I mean, this particular cab we got is a 210.
Yep.
And then it's got a horn in there. And then great, so you bolt that amp onto there, thusly.
That's right.
And then when you finished your gig, you very carefully flip it up, put it that way up, and you're done.
That's it. You're done.
Do your catches up, and you're good to go, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I like that.
And
What a great
that's
little
the whole rig.
I love that, man. That's very good. Lovely innovation. Very good. Nice one. Okay.
That's where the PF20 comes from. The other cool thing about the PF20T and the PF50, the bigger brother to that all tube head, a lot of people don't realize, is unlike most tube heads, you can run that amplifier unloaded. And it's got 2 DIs on the back.
Right.
It's got a DI right off the preamp, but it also has a DI off the output transformer. So essentially, that can become a great studio piece for your home recording studio or a professional recording studio. You could use that as your plug-in, if you will, or your direct box.
Well, that is amazing, and you don't need a cabinet plugged in for that, because obviously the classic thing is, you know, you take a tube amp, you run it without plugging it into a speaker, and goodbye tube amp, right?
Exactly.
But not with this.
No, not with that. You can run that completely unloaded into a recording console, and it'll work perfectly.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And you can do the same thing with the bigger brother with the PF50T as well, the 50-watt version of that guy.
Okay, is that the same spec, just more power?
Yeah, it's I think the footprint is maybe an inch or 2 wider.
Okay.
And then 50 watts more, and you do have some more tone shaping capability on the front.
Okay.
With the 50, you get the ultra low and the ultra high, and the 5-band mid-range selector switch.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
well, that looks very cool. Okay, so that's your Portaflex range. Good.
So that's the Portaflex, and then from the Portaflex, you can get into combo amps.
Okay.
Like you have in the middle there, that's a BA210.
Yes.
We make 5 different models of combo amps, from the BA210 all the way down to the little BA108.
Okay.
You know, so if you're practicing in an apartment or a small apartment or a dorm or whatever, or you're on a tour bus and space is limited, you have a little practice amp.
Oh, nice.
But you can also take that, you know, the 210, and there's also a 115, same dimensions, that are actually, you know, they're big enough combos that you can take out on stage and use in live performances as well.
Yeah, I was just noticing, actually, it's got a very nice little cutaway at the back, so you can sit it down.
That's right.
On the floor like a wedge monitor.
Correct.
And have it coming back up to you.
Yep,
and that's great.
So
that's a fantastic
monitor.
feature. I love that. Because very often, that's what you lose on stage. You know, you see people put the combos down here, and they're stood right in front of them, and all the sound just goes past their knees. They can't hear anything. So this is great to make it more like a sort of wedge thing if you wanted to do that. I like that. That's a good feature.
That also has a speaker out, so if you want to run an external cab, an extension cab, you can do that.
Okay, great. Well, that's a good range then. All up from like little ones, you say, like almost practice amp size to gigging size combos.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yep. And what else do we have?
Well, we also, a couple of things. We have micro stacks like you have there, the micro CL.
I can't wait to plug this in. This looks so cute. I mean, I saw it on the net, and I just thought, oh, please, come on, this is great. Look at this. Who doesn't want this? It's beautiful.
Exactly.
What size cones is that in there?
So it's a 210 cabinet.
Oh, that's decent.
With a 100-watt head on top.
Okay.
And you know, it's when you plug into it, you'll be amazed at how loud that little stack is. But essentially, it's, you know, it's 1/4 of an 810 cab.
Okay.
So, you know, an 810 cab is basically 4 210 compartments built into one box.
Sure, yeah.
That's one. So we've actually seen customers with the blue and silver cabinet, the 210 AV and the micro VR stack that you're going to show later.
Yeah.
They've actually stacked 4 of those and built their own like modular 810 cab with these things. It's pretty cool.
That's
to see what
fantastic.
people have done.
So the CL, does that stand for classic, I presume, is it?
It does stand for classic.
Because
yes.
also I've got this old style. Unfortunately, I don't have the head for this, but I've got some vintage looking thing here.
Yes.
This cabinet. And is that is that like a vintage range, is it?
Yeah, so the cabinet that you have there is part of the micro VR stack.
Okay.
So the micro VR...
I was just trying to work out in my head. CL, I thought classic, VR, vintage, reissue.
Vintage
maybe.
reissue.
Hey! I'm a legend. I'm a genius in my own mind.
We are... I always tell people we're not that inventive when it comes to our nomenclature.
Best not to be. Nobody wants to guess, do they, really?
No. You know, just like, people always ask, what's SVT stand for? Well, it could stand for a number of different things, but the standard answer is super valve technology.
Okay.
It's the proper answer. Some people say super vacuum tube, which is correct. But those are the 2 main abbreviations. There was originally, back when SVT was developed in '69, it was originally designated as super valve technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. See, educational as well.
A little history.
We're all
you.
learning something here today. Fantastic. Oh, okay. And so just going back to the little micro stack.
Yeah.
That is, like you say, it's pretty well appointed because it's got we've got the speaker out on the back. We've got an effects loop. That's got a line out. Okay, we've got an aux input on the front and a headphone socket. So yeah, perfect for practicing, but loud enough for other things.
Yeah. You know, the whole idea behind it was somebody that wanted the portability of a combo amp, but wanted the coolness and the vibe of an SVT stack.
Yeah, well, you've certainly done that because I just think that looks amazing. Yeah,
cool. Glad you like it.
That's the item on my shopping list. That one, I definitely want one of those in my studio. Fantastic, and also you've got some pedals. Is that right?
We do. Yeah, actually. So a few years back, we got into the pedal business. There's a bunch of great companies out there that were putting out pedals that were essentially Ampeg-esque, if you will. So we decided, why we should be able to do the same. So the first pedal we came out with was the SCR-DI.
Okay.
Which I consider it kind of like the Swiss Army knife of bass pedals. It's a DI pedal. It's a preamp pedal. It has the scrambler circuit that is found in our BA combos, so you get kind of an overdrive circuit there. And then at the very least, it's just a great standalone headphone practice amp where you can plug in your bass and an MP3 source.
Okay.
Then we took that pedal and we broke it out into 2 separate smaller pedals. The classic preamp, which is the preamp side of the pedal. And then most recently, we did a compressor pedal, which is the Opticomp.
I think I have one of those here.
There you go. That is an Opticomp.
Okay.
That is a true optical compressor. There's an optical circuit in there.
Okay.
And a photosensor circuit that, when it lights up, it trips the optical compressor. and then next to that we did the Liquefier chorus, which is a true dual chorus pedal as well. There you go.
Oh yes.
Yeah, those, I mean, you know, for anybody that's looking for just a really good, effective musical compressor pedal, the Opticomp, and same thing with the Liquefier. It's very bass friendly, although it's not labeled as just a bass pedal. It's a great guitar pedal as well.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, so right now we're currently at 5 pedals.
Yeah, I've got something else here. What's this? The Classic.
Yeah, so that's basically the preamp side of the SCR DI.
Ah, gotcha, right, yeah. I don't have my glasses on for vanity reasons, so I'm really...
Now, wait a second. I could see that all the way here from New Hampshire.
Well, your eyesight's better than mine. I've got my glasses here, look, I'll put them on now. Oh, that's what you look like. Oh.
Yeah, you might want to take those glasses off.
I'll leave them off for now. Okay, cool. So that's great. So that's your pedals. And you're up to 5 now, you say? You've got 5 pedals on the go.
Yeah, so there's those 3, the Scrambler pedal, and then the SCR DI.
Okay.
And who knows what we'll come out with next. We're constantly taking suggestions on what players would like to see next for an Ampeg pedal.
Well, that's brilliant. I mean, we'll do a separate episode on these pedals because I'm really keen to see what they sound like. So I think we'll devote a whole episode to those another time. You know, today I just wanted to talk about just an overview, really, of the whole Ampeg range. And it seems like you guys have been very busy.
We have been, and you know, like a lot of these products were built prior to the Yamaha Ampeg merger or purchase, however you want to call it. So one thing that Yamaha has really stepped up right now, or actually when they first bought Ampeg, was their quality control. Okay. That was the first thing that they, you know, obviously when you think of Yamaha, you think of quality, you think of things, you know, the products that are just done right and built properly.
Oh yeah.
And you know, that's the beauty of Ampeg falling under the Yamaha umbrella is, you know, that's going to wash into the Ampeg brand as well. So that was the first thing. And now, you know, we're looking at developing new products, some high-tech products. Ironically, the first thing that Yamaha commissioned for us to do was right around the time they purchased Ampeg. It was the 50th anniversary of the SVT. So rather than going the high-tech route, to Yamaha's credit, they were like, no, we actually want to honor this 50-year-old amplifier because it really did define bass amplification. Yeah. So that's why we developed the 50th anniversary, the Heritage 50th Anniversary SVT. You know, which was kind of ironic. You know, we're redeveloping essentially a 50-year-old amplifier made of tubes and glass and old solid-state circuitry. You know. Yeah,
but you know, some of these things are just such classics. You know. That's why Fender Strats and Tellys and Gibson Les Pauls are still around today because they haven't really been bettered. You know, they're still
absolutely. You know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of vibe in those old instruments, and I mean. You know, there's an old saying like, you know, Leo Fender got it right the first time, sort of thing. You know, and I like to think, you know, Ampeg kind of got it right with the B15 and then got it right again with the SVT. And those have been staples in the bass community for 50 and 60 years, respectively.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's great. Like you say, you've got to cater for modern sounds and modern bass players, absolutely. But it's, you know, that doesn't mean that you should do away with the old stuff at all. You could just have all of it, you know. You have the old stuff which sounds great. You have the new stuff which sounds great. So that's the way forward.
So that's kind of the direction that we're in. It's now, obviously being in the 21st century, 2020, we want to focus on the future, and maybe not, obviously we'll always build bass amps. There's no question about that. But I like to start telling people we're searching for solutions for bass players, whether it be a bass amp or some kind of digital technology or some, the landscape has changed so much in the way performers and bass players perform live that sometimes, on big production companies, they're not even allowed to have an amp even under the stage or on the stage. We need to come up with a solution for that touring bass player that's like, hey, listen, this tour that I'm on, I can't have an amp under the stage or on the stage, but I still want Ampeg in my signal chain.
Sure.
So how do I do that? Yeah. So that's our job, is to come up with solutions for those bass players.
Fantastic.
It's pretty exciting where it's going to go.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, we shall watch and see. Like you say, very exciting stuff. Dino, listen, it's been fantastic having a chat. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on and talk to us. Well, talk to me. And it's been really educational and informative. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nathan. Always a pleasure. Anytime, I'm happy to come on board and talk.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, yeah, we'll get you on again sometime, man. When I can't work out how these work, I'll be straight on the phone. Wait, Dino, how'd you turn this on? Brilliant stuff. Oh, Dino, listen, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
And
cheers.
Listen, stay well, keep healthy, and go and enjoy some of that. Get outdoors. Go and enjoy some of that lovely sunny weather you've got there.
I think I'm gonna. I absolutely will. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dino.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Ta-da.
Cheers.